I told y'all we are living on a dragon planet? Do y'all see this? What if I told you what they depicted as dinosaurs this whole time were actually dragons, different species of dragons, all right? And a lot of them, once the frequency actually substantially lowered on the planet, actually migrated to the inner earth, all right? Inner caverns of the earth. But as the frequency increased, everything's being revealed. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, actually revealed that certain places will be flooded, all right? In areas that, and certain bodies of water would actually be dried up. All right, so it's going to be a situation where all secrets will be revealed. A lot of these secrets have been kept and held by the Vatican. Now, right now, the planet is going through a massive terraforming process due to Ra. Ra's waking up, and they're trying to utilize sun simulators. They're trying to spray the sky with deceptive toxic metals such as thallium, barium, lead, cadmium, mercury, and aluminum. But none of it's going to work. Nothing that they do is going to work. I made you aware that they're also utilizing things like Project Looking Glass, all right, via CERN to try to find an alternate timeline where they win. Because we are the white blood cells of the planet, and we will purge out the vampiric parasites, all right? The sleeping dragons will awaken. Now, a lot of you actually have ancient primordial dragon bloodlines, are tethered to ancient primordial dragon bloodlines. This means that all the reptilians weren't evil. There were a segment or fraction of the reptilians, the Draconian Brotherhood, that are evil, but the Tiamathians, all right, those ancient reptilians that actually predate the Draconian are the ones that actually had this planet, all right? And a lot of them are actually, the Hopis referred to as the Snake Brothers, and they took residency under Earth, inner Earth, all right? You can do the research on Los Angeles, which had a city underneath it, where beings referred to as the Snake Brothers. They actually taught and spoke with the Hopis, and they survived several cataclysms, all right? Now, a lot of you are actually descendants of these ancient cosmic beings. What's currently taking place is we are rapidly shifting from 3rd density to 5th density, which means the magic is returning back to the realm. The magic was distorted. Once they pump oxygen in our atmosphere, it substantially lowered our lifespan, and they actually also altered our skies. When I talk about barium and aluminum, the periodic table of the elements, barium stands for Ba and aluminum stands for Al, which is Ba, and we know Ba is actually Enlil, who is the sky daddy. This is who the God is in the Bible, actually. A lot of people are unaware of that. So anytime they spray chemtrails, it's not just to block the sun or to actually inflict us with toxic metals. It's also dark magic that they're doing to also keep us induced under this sleep spell. But that sleep spell is being eradicated. No matter what they're doing, it's a situation where now we're receiving energy from the primordial ley lines. The sighting of this dragon is the representation of the Great Mother, the primordial chaos dragon Tiamat, which is the Great Mother, all right? This is the rise of the matriarch. This is what this symbolizes, the rise of the matriarch, which means ruling with love instead of ruling with an iron fist, all right? It's not about gender. It's not about male or female, all right? It's about energy, all right? And right now we're stepping back into the energy of the love frequency, which is the heart chakra resonance. It's very important that we're grounding, getting in nature, as well as meditating, that we're eating healthy, that we're purging ourselves of all vampiric parasites, that we're detoxing the body to ensure that we're prepared for the great solar flash, and that we're avoiding all distractions. Everything with this Epstein stuff and this Palm Beach Pete stuff is all a distraction, all right? They're basically trying to ascertain and usurp our loose right now, Cosmic Family. We don't want to give them any energy. They don't deserve none of our energy. They actually need it, all right? Remember, we're electromagnetic beings. We're primordial. We're the indigenous ones of this planet, and they need our ashe. This is why lately one of their main methods of attack have been by way of deceptive electromagnetic frequencies. Our body needs magnetic energy. Magnetic energy is what causes our cells to actually divide and then come back into formation. This is why I stay wearing copper magnetic bracelets. They amplify the morphogenetic field, keeping a barrier up from deceptive archons. And archons basically are the manifestation of parasites, all right? So once archons hover in your morphogenetic field and then they pierce through, once they get in conjunction with your body, they then manifest into parasites or dis-ease. Remember, Cosmic Family, most diseases are actually parasitic in nature, all right? So by building up your auric field, by building up your morphogenetic field, by way of sound healing, by way of copper bracelets, by way of things like orgone, by way of things like crystals, These things actually provide a barrier of protection for your morphogenetic field. And it's also important that you're cleansing the toxic metals out of your body. I recommend consumption of chlorophyll. I recommend taking a parasite cleanse. I recommend anything to actually shield you from MK Ultra, because that's what their objective is now. These deletes have been hijacking our dreams. They know that we're going through an ascension process, and they're desperate right now. They know that we're the gods and goddesses of this universe, that we're just currently in a state of amnesia. So they're trying to prevent us from pretty much going through that metamorphosis. Consume elixirs like Carbon-60 for cellular regeneration. Carbon-60 is composed of shungite, and it's actually 160 times more potent than vitamin C. This is literally the fountain of youth in a bottle. Carbon-60 also has the ability of combating deceptive nanotechnology such as graphene oxide. I do have the Carbon-60 available on Holistic Remedies link in bio. For all high quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to ascension.